God, oh my 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 God. Am I? Oh oh my God. And my fucking phone is not charging. Oh my God. This is so funny. This is so. What is? I cannot wait to tell about this again. Okay. All right, we're back. Okay, we're live. Okay. I cannot. Okay. Cammy is fine, y'all. She's fine. I don't even know if I don't did y'all could y'all see the call too? Oh my God. This is so wild. All right. Let's go back to okay. Okay. All right. Hmm. Okay. Always. Always. Siempre. Ah, oh my God. You know it's so funny? Like, like I'm so flustered. I just my brain is in Spanish right now. Like I cannot. Um Cammy always finds her way into it. She always like she always finds her way, right? Like always. You should have seen her face when she's like, like, oh shit, like, because I just saw her. All right, anyway, let's keep going. So yes, there are multiple ways that you can figure out who your ancestors are, okay? So do the work and that's a part of it, right? That's a part of what your ancestors want you to discover, right? They're like, listen, like we're still here. Let me show you. Let me tell you, let me talk to you. This is how they communicate with us from the other side. Okay. So let's go through the signs. Okay. Unexplained dreams or visions. And I feel like this is number one. This is why I put it as number one because it is number one. It's the most obvious. It's the one that it's the one that I feel like even non believers who don't believe in mediumship, don't believe in any of this spiritual anything, if they have a dream about their loved one, they know that, okay, they're trying to tell me something. They are trying to reach me. They are letting me know that they are okay. I had a dream about my late father and we were doing this thing, and sometimes it's memories as well that come up as well that they like to show us and play for us almost like movies, and sometimes they just want while we're sleeping and while we are in that dream space, we also are kind of floating in between the physical and spiritual realm. So, so a lot of times, when we are in a dream state, it's easy for our souls to be able to run free. And oh yeah, this is fucking funny. Excuse my man. Um, so so yeah. Um uh, uh, yeah. So when we are in our dream state, it's easy for them um to allow us to explore the spirit realm, and a lot of times we might find ourselves in our grandmother's home, and maybe that home is no longer part of the family, but the way it is, you know, um, and you're there and it's safe there. I find that like deceased loved ones, um, deceased, a little cameo from everybody. Deceased loved ones tend to want to make sure that we feel safe and want to make sure that we have peace, right? So they don't try to bring us into the chaos, right? The ones that love us, the benevolent ones, the ones that we honor, right? Like they don't want to they want to make sure that you don't run from the space, right? Because I feel like that's what's very different about ancestors and spirit guides, right? Your spirit guides could be any sort of entity, any sort of being. Some people's spirit guides look like straight demons and shit, but they're the kindest and most sweetest, you know, demon looking entities that they could be. um, but they are not human. They're not human. So they don't really care if they come looking crazy and demon like in a room full of fire trying to give you a message. Like, if you ever experienced that, then you know what I'm saying. If you ever had some really intense dreams with spirit guides, then they don't always come so gently. But your ancestors do, your ancestors do. Um, and a lot of times it's still with that same energy that they were very much alive with, where you're familiar with. That's why times when people say, I'm just so afraid to connect with them. And I'm like, why? You was never afraid of your grandmother. You was never afraid of auntie. You was never afraid of uncle. These are people that loved you and cared about you. You never had a problem going over their house and plopping on their couch and talking to them and laughing. So that's something that I want you all to keep in mind. All right. Now, this one is controversial, and I talked about this before. Hearing your name or feeling a presence. Now, it's very important. It's very, very important for you to be distinct of who you are connecting with, who you're putting on your altar. Okay. Um, when you hear your name being called, what I mean when I say that is in that person's voice, in their voice, in their tone, in that feeling, those things are connected. I find too that like when you just feel that energy, especially when you are familiar with the person, you know the person, you know what it feels like to be around them. That feeling never goes away. It never goes away. You might even have like some moments to yourself where you're just thinking about them and your memory is your memories are taking you back to a time where they called your name, where you felt a hug. Those instances are things that they're like, hey, listen, like I want you to remember this time right now. You might be having a tough time. You might be having a tough time. And in those moments you might hear that person's voice that if they were alive, this is what they would have said. You can hear the words. There's nothing like that. It just feels so good. Okay. I can't wait to like get even deeper into this in the workshop because we're gonna be working. I honestly feel like if you take the course, you're probably going to become a medium, like on some real because we are gonna really like doing the things to like connect. And I want y'all to leave the course, the foundations of ancestral connection course on your like me like oh, I know my people and I know how to connect with them. So I'm excited about that too. So yeah, more about that today. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Yes, it's time. Oh, it's time. I'm gonna be making some mediums and tarot readers out of y'all this year. I can't wait. I know y'all been waiting for it, so I'm excited. Okay. Recurring symbols, songs, or numbers. And again, like when you are familiar with your people, you know them. You know those songs that, oh my God, I remember when I used to play this song and we used to dance. Oh, oh, this is my grandmother's favorite gospel song. I feel like when people know their grandma or their grandparents or their aunts, if they know somebody's favorite gospel song, maybe that's all it is. That's all I needed to give me some hope. That's all I needed to carry on. That's all I needed. If I didn't have that, oh, I wouldn't have avoided that child. I would have. Oh, I needed that. Yeah. That's how I say I feel like I'm on my way because our ancestors always put me in my cousin's business. Listen, listen. If you are here, it might be time. If you are here, it might be time. It might be time for you to start exploring your gifts, start exploring these deeper connections, understanding why they are happening. Okay. So, yes, recurring symbols, songs, or numbers. And I feel like, yes, angel numbers and repeating numbers, but birthdays, anniversaries, um, if you come from a military family, maybe the number of the military unit, their squadron might come up. If you come from that, right? Like those numbers might also be really important. A grandmother, I don't know who grandma. Listen, listen. This in itself is the word, okay? Because I feel like somebody's grandma is coming through. Um, uh, your loved one address, house number, or their street name, things like that. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Okay? Not a coincidence. It's not. It just isn't. Okay. So yes, okay. I want you to be curious as to why. Do a little more research. Like this song keeps coming up. Is this connected to our family somehow? Sudden interest in your family's history. And I find that this is where a lot of people start right before they get their first mediumship. They have learned some sort of family history, they did some sort of research, and they wanted to learn more. They might have even found a family secret. Okay. A lot of times, you know, ancestors can be a little messy too. Okay. But the thing is when they're dead, they're like, listen, now I can say it. Yup, I got about five other kids, baby. You got some brothers and sisters out there in the world, don't know where they at, but here we are. That's real. That's real. So, um, yes, looking into your family history, doing that deeper dive, okay? Wanting to know more, wanting to understand how did we get here. Okay, I had to start really asking questions in my family because I realized that, and my cousin Sophia, she's in here, and all of my family from my maternal grandmother's side, they're all in Texas. Like, all my family is in Texas. I have Texas roots for real, real close. Like, but we're the only ones here in Baltimore. And I know for my grandkids, one day they're gonna say, "Well, wait a minute, how do we get here?" And I get to tell the story of my grandmother's migration. So it's things like that, right? I get to tell the story about, well, my grandmother went from Texas to Arizona, back to Texas to Baltimore to, like, these things are important, and being able to go back to those places and finding information and learning, okay? Don't be afraid to discover more about your family's history, okay? And last but not least, before we wrap up, spiritual restlessness or a sense of calling. Listen, you when your ancestors, when you're the one, listen, I'm telling you, when you are the one who is a generational curse breaker, your ancestors yell at you. Let me take a sip of water on that. Your ancestors yell, they scream, they bang, they they jump out, they reach out, they touch you, they push, they drag. If you're a generational curse breaker in this space, just put breaker in the comments. Breaker, curse breaker. If you're a generational curse breaker, put it in the comments because I want to see where the real ones at. Because baby, drag me. If you're a generational curse breaker, you don't just get into water, you get drowned a little bit. You get drowned a little bit. They gonna dunk you. They gonna push your head in. They gonna push you in. It's not just a leading you to the water. They're gonna push your head in. Yes, yes. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, run it up, run it up, run it up. Yeah, yeah. So, you can't ignore the call. Okay, waterboarded real bad. Real, real bad. And when you come up for air, you be like, dang, you didn't have to do it that hard. I heard you. Jeez. I heard you. I know it took me a little minute to get here, but I heard you. I was scared. I was scared. It was scary. Listen, so you that calling is very hard to ignore sometimes when it's pushy, when it's urgent, and um when you hear that, be a little more curious, okay? Ask questions, sit with it for a moment, okay? Sit with it for a moment. Contact a spiritual advisor. Reach out to me. Let me know what is happening. What are you experiencing so that so that we can start to do the work and learn what your ancestors are trying to communicate to you. Okay. I'm so excited about my upcoming course, Foundations of Ancestral Connection, because it is time, you all. It is time. It's time. It's time for us to heal. Number one. That's number one. It's time for us to heal. It's time for us to heal our families and our children, especially our children are lost in the world. It's time for us to learn our true ways and understand our ways. It's time. It's time. It's time. So, yes, I am offering my new course. It will be released week. Foundations of Ancestral Connection. You all will have access to the early bird sale. You can go to my website. I had the description up. I mean, I have the information in my description, but I'll put it up later. Um, you can say, look, I'm talking more about this because it is time. We know where we come from. We're learning where we come from. We're learning who we are, and we're learning how powerful we are. And our ancestors are returning. Ashe, our ancestors are returning. Ashe, our ancestors are returning. Ashe, they are returning. They have returned. So I'm so excited to offer this course. Um, we are going to be getting deeper into altar building, deeper in ritual, deeper into practices that will you get the clarity, the properly and healthily um, communicate with your ancestors. So I'm really, really excited and I'm really happy that you all shared your morning with me despite our our technology mishaps. I told myself that I was never going to do a workshop during retrograde. Here I am doing it again. I do it to myself. But I'm very, very excited to share this course with you all. And this is the beginning, okay? This is the beginning. You need the foundation of your ancestors. You need this foundation to build upon, okay? So I'm excited to teach you all this year. And yeah, let me know how you feel in the comments. And have a good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.